All right, we are rolling.
Oh, we are going?
Counting us down.
I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Always. 3,
Oh.
2.
Is there time for food, though?
You're listening to Missing Out with Lex Michael and Tari J. Let's start the show. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Missing Out. I'm Tari J.
I'm Lex Michael.
If this is your first time listening, what we do here is we introduce each other to different media, whether it be music, movies, television, spoken word, books, other stuff, experiences, comics, and we take these things that have built us up as people, we introduce them to you, the audience, and we hope that it builds you. We are the retrospective that is introspective.
I'm glad that you explain this, like you lay it out for us every week, because when I first get here, every time I'm bewildered, I'm confused, I'm frightened, frankly, and you lay it all out and you make me feel safe, and now we can move forward.
Exactly. If you guys don't know, Lex is like the guy from Memento, but instead of tattoos, he just waits for me to explain things to him.
And instead of only remembering the past few minutes or so, right? Yeah. So like my timeline moves backwards, I'm just dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it's a common affliction.
Yeah.
No. Today, guys,
one out of 3, if I'm being generous.
It's just everyone. Everyone's dumb in their own way.
3 out of 3 people are afflicted with aggressive stupidity. 3 out of 3. It may be someone you know.
Yeah. But sometimes you can get treatment and go into regression. It's the regressive aggressive.
You read some books. Do some book learning.
Yeah.
And let it build you up as a person. And come talk about it on a podcast.
Guys, today we're talking about Soul Food, the 1997 film written and directed by George Tillman Jr. You might know him from such films as The Hate You Give. He did the Barbershop shows. He did Cooley High. There was something else that he did recently that I was like, oh my gosh, he did it. So he directed something in 2009.
What was it?
I mean, he did Notorious.
Oh, he did. That's right. He did Notorious. He also did Men of Honor with De Niro and Cuba.
Yeah. So very prominent director. And it also stars Vanessa Williams, Vivica A, Nia Long, Mekhi Phifer. Michael Beaches, or Michael Beach. I think it's just Beach.
One beach, multiple beaches.
Yeah. So it's good. I introduced this to Lex Michael.
You did.
He had never seen it.
I hadn't.
I've seen it a bunch of times. There were moments when I was watching the movie where I could remember even just like the trailer where she's like, "This is my wedding and I'm supposed to be happy."
Oh, that was a trailer line?
Oh, yeah.
See, I wish I had taken a look at how this movie was marketed before we talked about it. Cause sounds like I'm now trying to imagine the moments you would cut into a trailer.
There was that one. There was the moment with the Reverend being like, all these fine breasts and legs underneath, on top of the table.
Right.
There's that piece. There is the Vanessa Williams wielding the knife moment.
I was going to say, the knife has to be in the trailer.
Right. But yeah, so this was a very prominent movie in my childhood. I thought I would introduce it this week because we are going into the Thanksgiving holiday, and this movie is all about family and family drama and food. And the collaboration or the collision of all those things together.
Yes.
So I felt it only appropriate.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I'm even less frightened than I was mere moments ago.
As you should be. Lex, this was your first time seeing it, so tell me your general thoughts. How did you feel? Were you comforted by this sweet tale of family and food?
All right, so this was a movie I was definitely aware of, but I had never seen. These folks are real bad at making decisions.
Okay.
I guess is my first big thought. Like they all seem very nice, and I'm glad that by the end it seems like they're kind of putting it all back together finally, maybe like growing from their shared experiences and their triumphs and their losses and their failures and like the highs and the lows and all that.
Yeah.
But like throughout, real bad at making decisions.
I mean,
just the men especially. But really, like almost everybody, 3 out of 3 people are afflicted with some form of stupidity.
I mean, I wouldn't call it stupidity. I would say that, like, I definitely think that they are a product of their time. I definitely think that, like, the movie being set in Chicago, you have people who are definitely part of a lower education, lower income community. So, like, it would make sense that their decision-making skills aren't the like, primest. And I think that also makes the drama higher, in that, like, you know, you get a sense that only a couple of the, I guess technically only a few of the characters have fully completed their education, and they're mostly very much into like what's happening in their immediate family life.
Well, it makes like I joke. I was obviously being a little bit facetious, but it that definitely tracks for me, and it makes them feel a great deal more human.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I think a lot of their decision making is not maybe on point consistently, but it's the kind of irrational sort of passion based non-thinking that I think a lot of people, I think almost everybody at least once, probably at least once that you can remember recently.
Yeah.
Even if only in a minor way, we sort of give in to that sort of impulsive, passionate non-thinking.
Yeah.
So it's super uncomfortable to watch them make some of the choices that they make, and I can't say I understand it as far as I get, like, I think they should have gone that way.
Yeah.
You know, but like I can empathize, especially if you feel like, as a couple of the characters do at various points in the movie, you feel like every bit of like control or in some cases identity is kind of being pulled out from under you. It tracks. I see how they end up some of these places, but bro.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, you bring up the men in this movie, and so there's a very interesting aspect of the movie that hasn't necessarily aged the best, and it's the sense of like, a man has to be a man, and men don't get help, and like women are always gonna try to see you as like a trifling N-word if you don't blah blah blah.
And I did really like that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do hit that specific, like, Mekhi Phifer's whole deal in this movie is whenever anybody helps him, basically, in ways that he very badly needs help in that moment.
Yeah.
His pride takes such a massive hit that he reacts with this like really irrational anger.
Yeah.
So much so that he becomes violent more than once.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because it makes me, it actually feels real in that, like, this character having recently got out of prison, where like it's very much like you're always, you got to have your neck on a swivel. Like,
absolutely,
people don't help you for no reason. Like, I feel like a lot of the time when you see shows and someone's recently got out of prison, they're very much like, you know, I'm just a new leaf, and they're either like all bad or all good, and they don't really like reflect how being in prison has affected them.
Right.
So I really liked that aspect. Like, it makes him really hard to watch because he's just like, there's a moment when he's talking about how the system is keeps people who go to prison down, and like, it's totally true, but at the same time, like, his decisions specifically also affect him as well.
Right. It also tracks with the moment, one of my favorite moments in the film, when he insists very strongly that his dick not be looked at. That actually does track, right? Because if you're in prison, if somebody's staring at your dick, that means bad things are on the horizon for you, I would imagine.
Yeah.
No matter which way that situation ends up shaking out, I feel like that means it portends negative things.
Yeah, because they eat dicks in prison.
They do.
They just
or they like chop them off and trade them. Like,
right.
That's currency. Like, one dick is worth 2 packs of cigarettes.
Totally. I mean, that's how it works. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough out there in the prison streets. But like, so I guess we should back up a little bit. Maybe someone hasn't seen this movie, Lex Michael.
Sure.
Maybe they don't know what it's about. What do you think it's about, Lex Michael?
Okay, so it's about a family who they come together over their Sunday dinners every week. It's a big tradition, and it's all about togetherness and kind of sharing love and food and joy, and being there for each other in the bad times, so you can enjoy the good times. All the great stuff, everything you want out of Sunday dinners with your family.
Yeah,
and it's all headed by this matriarch, Big Mama, who's sort of the glue that keeps the entire family together.
Yeah,
and we spend a little bit of time up front because I was waiting for what felt like a weird amount of time before the movie sort of revealed to me what it was about, like what was going to be happening.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, she has diabetes, and so she has to get surgery to have a leg amputated, and she falls into a coma, and immediately the family implodes. They get wrapped up in their own little threads of drama where, the one couple, poor guy just wants to make his music, man. She's just not having it.
Yeah.
Another couple, Mekhi Phifer's just got out of jail, and we have this storyline where Nia Long is trying to help him get a job, and so she decides, I'm basically going to cheat on you to help you get this job, which, not for nothing, separate and apart from his ego being a factor, that I would be a little upset.
I mean, but she wasn't going to sleep with the guy. It was just like,
what are the odds? Did you see that guy? What are the odds that it was going to be just dinner?
Of course it was going to be just dinner.
No, he would move that carrot a little bit.
Maybe.
You see this dude.
Well, no, I know.
And even the kid is like, yo, he wanted Bird and he would do anything or say anything to get her. It's like, no, he'll move that carrot just a little bit.
Right. I mean,
and maybe she wouldn't do it, but like, that carrot's moving.
It would, but I definitely think that she'd be like, nah, bruh. I mean, because, Bird has a lot of integrity.
Sure.
And Bird loves her man. She stick with him to the very end. She's trying to help. I mean, yeah, like what I kept writing in my notes, it was, because his name is Simiel, or Simuel, and I just kept calling him Wet Lips. Because he's like all about licking them lips. He's like, hey, girl, what's up? Here, let me put this money in your bra. Are these sounds good for you? Are these
like? I'm just picturing like the Joker in Dark Knight, just drooling a little bit more.
Yeah, that's how he was.
Or like David Tennant in Harry Potter 4 in Goblet of Fire
with that like snake tongue. Where he's like, blip, blip. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. He had them like hungry eyes.
I'm Doctor Who.
Ooh, that's a really good Tennant impression.
I watched the show voraciously for many years, and that's how I was able to perfect my David. I'm Doctor Who.
Oh man!
Hello.
Wow. Oh my gosh! It's like David Tennant stepped into your body, and like it was like Quantum Leap, where he was being you for a moment, and then you see him gently leave, and Lex Michael is back.
I have a TARDIS. I'm going to space in my TARDIS because I am Doctor Who.
He's back. Oh, how nice! Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. But so I feel like there are a number of different like storylines or subplots going on. Like we have that overarching thing where like Big Mama goes into a coma and everyone has to kind of get their stuff together and everyone's fighting. And so like the two main characters are like Vivica Fox's Maxine and Vanessa Williams' Terry. These two being like the two oldest sisters. Terry being the like very, very archetypal oldest child, where she has her stuff together and she's always like she went to school and is paying all the money and has all the responsibility. And then you have Vivica Fox's middle child character, who's like a little more free but still has her stuff together. And then you have Nia Long's character who's still living with her mom and married, just got recently married, is still trying to get her stuff together. And you get these like very classic family dynamics where like both of them feel like they are constantly competing to be like the best sister.
Right.
And so you get those interpersonal squabbles in addition to the relationship squabbles where you have, you have Terry, who is in a loveless relationship, and her sister Maxine is in a relationship with her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Which must turn the dagger so hard.
That is the thing, though, not for nothing. How do all of these people sort of sit ultimately and break bread with one another? But I guess that's sort of the point, right? Like the love, the familial bond will sort of supersede all of that. But every Sunday you sit around the table going like, okay, so you had sex with this person, but like you're married to them, and like I used to be in love with you, and I still kind of am secretly in love with you, but I can't tell anybody, and my marriage is horrible, and like what I mean? Like how? Yeah. Sounds so stressful.
I mean, it is, but that's what family is.
That's
family
love,
is
man.
stress, bro.
Right? You stick through the hard times together, so you can be there. If you let the bad times stop you, you won't be around for the good times.
Oh yeah. That's that sweet log line, baby.
I would say Vivica Fox, I think, out of everybody in the movie, unless there's some incident that I'm really like hardcore forgetting about, with the exception of dating her sister's former love, she seems to have most of her stuff together, like more so than anybody else seems to have her stuff more or less together.
Yeah.
She's in the most kind of stable relationship. We have the least amount of actual like drama around her. She's one of the few not actively making destructive choices.
Yeah.
Like Terry, very much on the surface. On the surface, you would look at her and her life and where she is, and you'd say, like, well, she clearly has it the most on the ball out of anybody. But, like, nah, her life is awful.
Yeah.
Like the loveless marriage thing, and then the fact that, like, she's so close to the edge, clearly, like, the whole time. And I'm, like, backfilling it when we get to the knife scene.
Yeah.
I'm backfilling how, like your Patrick Bateman levels of so close to the edge of shit that all it took was that, and you broke, and you're ready to kill people.
Yeah.
And so then from now on, I'd know this every Sunday, and I would like real close be like, like, she gonna like, should I cut her food for her so she doesn't have one? Are we safe? I don't feel safe. Do you feel safe?
Look, everyone gets a little sad sometimes. I mean, I feel like
that's the little boy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like ever since Big Mama died, he started talking weird.
Yeah, he felt like he had to take her place.
Like he's channeling her.
Yeah. It's like, oh yes, you have to make sure you're there for family. Family is the most important thing. It doesn't matter what they've done. And they're like, you're 9.
I don't feel safe. Do you feel safe? Maybe we should give her the knife and point her at him.
Oh no. I mean, I feel like the way that Terry's character is put together, like, it is very much this like oldest child always feeling like they have to be in control. And it feels like she feels like no matter what she does, it'll never be enough. Which I think that Vanessa Williams plays very well.
Yes.
But like overall, I feel so bad for her. 'Cause like I think that like she'll never be happy.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe at some point she will be.
Why does she hate music so much?
I think that she is more like, because her being an oldest child, I think that it's one of those things where it's like you have to choose a practical career and you have to make sure that you're doing like what's important and not just like doing your hobby stuff. Whereas like when you're a younger child, you're able to just kind of like spring loose and everyone will take care of things for you.
Sure, that definitely tracks. But like, not for nothing, didn't dude have like a job? Like, did a job that he was doing pretty well at, that he was saying like, he didn't say he's going to go full time with the music until later, right?
Yeah.
First conversation they had was just like, no, like I'm going to do this on the side, essentially, while I do my job and earn money and hold up my end of things and be the responsible adult at the same time. And she was still so angry about it.
I think it was mostly because he like took money out of their savings and was like,
that would be the one thing. And I guess, right, it could be, you could argue that it is more about the money, right? Like taking the money out of their shared account without checking with her.
Yeah.
I could see that too. But then juxtapose it with the second scene where it's clearly about him and his music and his life and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Why does she hate music so much, bro?
She just doesn't respect him. You know, she wants him to have one of those sweet, boring, practical jobs.
And no song in his heart.
Nope.
No.
Which is crazy because so the band that he was a part of, Milestone. So if you don't know anything about this movie, you'll know a cursory research will show you that
Babyface produced this movie.
Yeah, Babyface produced it, and he was part of the band. So the band was comprised of Babyface, his two brothers, and then Casey and JoJo from Jodeci, in addition to Miles. So like this band, if those people didn't exist in world, because you don't learn their names, maybe they were Babyface and they were Casey and JoJo. You're like, this band is going far. This band is doing a lot of stuff.
Especially like this type of music in the 90s, like they're gonna sell a lot of records.
Yeah,
a lot of records. Why is she so mad at him?
She just wants him to be a boring lawyer.
Right, man, but like he'd make more money. Like at that time in history, he would. Now you couldn't make shit, but like at that now I get why she's mad. Like I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculously irresponsible decision now when you can't really make any money. But back then, like you could have made maybe more money than he was making at his boring job.
Yeah. Plus, like, I feel like she was making enough to where they didn't really need the two separate incomes. Like, he could have followed his passions and they could have been okay. Like, or even just like if she would have been open to it, they could have just made a plan and been like, all right, well, we'll do this we'll see how it goes over the course of 2 years. And if it doesn't work out by then, we'll see where we're at. And maybe you go back to doing your lawyer thing. Like, come on, bro, give him some leeway.
She hates music.
Yeah. She's like all the parents in Footloose. So that's where she came from. She went to college in Footloose Town, and was like, you know what? Everyone's right. And as soon as she left, that's when Footloose happened.
Right. She missed it.
Yeah.
She would have been fine. Like she would have realized the power and the wonder of music and dance.
Yeah.
Had she only not taken that fancy corporate job until a week later.
Yep. It's true. It's so stupid. But yeah. Which like I don't think that her stuffiness necessarily justified Miles's sleeping with her cousin.
Right. He's still cheating on his wife. Like, you still don't cheat on your wife. Like, if you're not happy together, you're not happy together, and that's fair. Unfortunately, sometimes two folks can't make it work despite their best intentions.
Yeah.
Get a divorce.
Right.
Get a divorce. Or at the very least, have a conversation about how we're going to settle all the divorce stuff, but we're not together now.
Yeah.
And then go do what you want.
Right.
You're still cheating on your wife, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she may not be the nicest person to you. She may shit down your throat every time you mention your dreams. And she may hate music. But you still shouldn't cheat on your wife.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the movie does a good job of, like, making you understand why he does it. Not that it excuses it, but I think it does a really good job of showing that, like, it was more about someone being excited about his passions,
right,
which is what Faith provided for him, and that it ended up that he also was someone who put faith in her, which is what she was looking for. Because like everyone treated her like shit too. Everyone was just like, when this girl comes around, she ain't nothing but trouble.
I found myself thinking at a certain point, especially when you get to the scene where like he's accompanying her while she does her audition.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, she's clearly a trained dancer. Like, she can do it. Why is everybody so mean to her?
You get a sense of like what her past is with the family, because like there's that moment when Vanessa Williams, his Terry character, is kind of laying it all out and being like, remember when you bought that car and put it under mama's name? Remember when you did something else? I forget what the list was. But she did a bunch of stuff and then she left and ran away or whatever. So like I get it. Like, I don't know if you have any of these family members. Like, I have family members like this where like they come in, wreak havoc, and then they disappear, and then you don't see them again until they need money.
I feel like that's a lot of my family.
I mean,
like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's only me.
I don't think so. No,
maybe
it's me too.
Yeah. I'm the guy that comes in and I'm just like, fuck this table, and I flip it over, and then I'm like, give me money. They're just like so stunned that I came in and flipped the table over before they can't even respond. They can't process the money part, so I don't get money.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is just, start busting open the TVs, and then one day you'll find money.
Oh my God! Right, like that's it. He lied, but his lie came true. It was Big Mama's final gift.
There's a character in this movie called Uncle Pete.
That's right.
And he it's weird the like Uncle Pete trajectory, because like when they introduce the idea of Uncle Pete, he is basically a shut-in. Like he doesn't leave this one room in Big Mama's house. And essentially, like every time when you first meet him, he's just a cane that pulls in food on Sunday dinners. And then they're like, haha, Pete's messing with us.
Right, like they're keeping a dragon in there or something.
Right. And then like at some point, like there's another bit where he rejects the food that Nia Long cooks.
Yes.
And you're like, haha.
And then Nia Long makes a really big acting choice with her like sigh.
Right.
And then out of frame.
That's how acting works.
And they're very not to digress too far from Uncle Pete, but there are so many scenes. There are scenes like there was no scene that did not work for me, but there are so many moments within scenes and the way scenes are structured and the way we sort of move from one piece to the next that feels very, very written.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of moments in the movie like that one that just feel very acted.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like it's a bad performance per se. It's just, okay, you maybe modulated your choice just a hair high.
Yeah.
Anyway, Uncle Pete.
Well, Uncle Pete starts as this like joke character, and then you like meet him in person and you find out he has like dementia, and it like makes it so sad. It like goes from like comedic to like tragic so quickly.
Yes.
And it like hurts my heart so much because like Vivica Fox is also trying to keep everything together and trying to figure stuff out. And then she comes to the house and like he's sitting out and he thinks that she is her mother.
Right.
And you realize that like he's a shut-in because like he has dementia and like can't really like I don't even know if he has lucid moments or not because you don't really spend that much time with him. So it like goes from really
right.
Yeah.
It gets really real, like real fast.
Oh yeah.
But then I found myself kind of trying to take a step back and go like, was there a reason Uncle Pete needed to be in this movie? Like it doesn't really like you could have chopped this stuff. And again, this stuff is it's powerful, it's affecting.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could have lifted every bit of Uncle Pete out of the movie and it doesn't affect anything else that happens in the movie.
But who would drop the TV? Who would have the TV?
Mekhi Phifer.
Oh yeah. Mekhi Phifer's like, I'm gonna steal this TV.
He's mad a lot in this movie. He gets really mad a lot.
No, I like having Uncle Pete because like I feel like he's their last connection to their mom.
Right. I'm not saying they should have cut Uncle Pete.
No, I'm saying like I'm just saying that that's what he is, bro. You looking for meaning? You looking for answers? Uncle Pete's got them answers. Uncle Pete's got that meaning.
Uncle Pete is the only meaning.
Yeah.
You only need Uncle Pete.
Without him, you could say it peters out. Yeah. Ooh. You get it.
Hey folks, this episode of Missing Out is brought to you by Offensive Crayons. Aren't you tired of coloring with boring colors like blue or brown or burnt sienna? What even is that? Well, so are we, so let's liven things up with Offensive Crayons. Gone are the safe colors like goldenrod or red. Now we have miscarriage maroon. privilege.
White people.
And your parents' divorce was your fault, Peach. And now, for a limited time, the holiday edition, including new classics such as Drunken Racist Uncle Purple and Ho Ho Home Invasion Red. Only available from Offensive Crayons at www.offensivecrayons.com. Not available at Amazon as they were pulled for offending children and Caucasians.
White people.
www.offensivecrayons.com. Offensive Crayons.
There's a side note I want to make, but I don't know how to like articulate it.
All right, just slop your way through it.
All right,
just get in that trough and splash around.
So I watched this movie with captions, and the cat like I don't know if it's like this on the DVD. I don't know if it's like this. I watched it on Amazon, and their captions whenever someone uses the N-word, which is Nigga. The captions are specific to be like Nigger,
which is harsher.
It is, and it like makes me wonder if like the person who was captioning it was like, yeah, they were like, "This is my chance. I'm gonna do it. If I can't be in a Tarantino movie, this is what I'm gonna do."
And that man was Leonardo DiCaprio. And Quentin heard the news and went, "Shit, I better put him in something, or his virulence a streak of racism will take us all down. Let me write him a role into which he can vent all of this." I'll be hearing from DiCaprio's people pretty soon about these hideous allegations.
I like to imagine he just shows up in your apartment, like you walk in, like after you're done with this, and then like a swivel chair turns around, and he's like, "I hear you know my secret. You had my attention. Now you have my interest," or however that line goes. Yep. That's how it's gonna happen. And he's gonna be like, "I ate a fucking raw fish. You think I won't kill you?"
I like the idea that like he threatens me like this, but then all he does is he just follows me around and types out captions for everything that I'm saying and just inserts epithets periodically. And then I have to try and explain myself to everybody.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. The ultimate revenge is like, "I'll defame you."
And I see their face change. And I'm like, "What?" And I look down. I'm like, "No." And by this point, they're already walking away, like real fast, just booking it away from me.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's terrible. What a dick.
I really liked this kid character.
Yes, it did seem very much like he was going to be our POV character, but then was only our POV character sometimes.
For a lot of it, he was only not the POV character for stuff that he couldn't see. But even then, he like described it in voiceover. He was like, "Stuff happened, and I don't know what it was." And then the narrative of the movie was like, "This. It was this. She was mad because of this."
I mean, the kid though, he is always kind of saying the same kind of thing. It's always some variation on like, little did we know, right? It's gonna get so much worse before it gets better. But Big Mom always said, "You need some good food and some love, and you'll get through the hard times." And
yeah.
it's just variations on that.
That makes me imagine that this kid, like, this movie has a lot of like voiceover narration, and like I feel like we're gonna pull back, and it's gonna be this kid as a grown up with a white suit, being like, "Big Mom always said you gotta go through Uncle the bad time."
Time is a flat circle and shit.
Yep, like he couldn't come out because of time paradoxes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why Uncle Pete's not in any more of the movies, because if they were in the same room, the space-time continuum would just split apart, and everybody would have to exist in the quantum
realm. This was also, I haven't watched this movie since I was a kid. And I don't think I realized how prominent the like diabetes stuff was. Like I don't think I even understood what was happening, and which is crazy because like my mom had diabetes, but like there was never a moment where they were like, "So we gotta cut off her leg."
Right.
It was more like, "Mom, don't eat that candy bar." But she wasn't cooking giant greasy meals every day.
Right. I thought it was. We got to the end of the movie, right, and we're looking at this scene where everybody's having their meal. Like they actually get together and they make the meal, and like they're all kind of like trying to find their way back to each other and so forth.
Yeah.
But we get the shots of all of the food, and it's super celebratory, and it's like, look at how wonderful it is that they're all back together doing this. And I'm sitting there going, that's the food that killed Big Mama.
I mean, maybe they're probably eating less of it than Big Mama is. Like Big Mama seemed like she had real like old fashioned sensibilities. Like there's a moment when she burns herself and she's like, "Get me some butter." And it's like, "Look, Big Mama, like that ain't gonna do it. That's not how it works, honey." So like even when she's not eating the butter, it's getting absorbed through her skin anytime she burns herself. Like it's not good for her.
She's 60% butter now.
Like yeah, there's a moment also like she's like, "Ain't nothing gonna do except for, like ain't nothing I need except for something and turpentine." And I was like, "What are you using that for?" Are you drinking the turpentine to feel better? How does that work? Like I know that like in the South, like they feel like Robitussin is a big thing.
I remember Chris Rock had a bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just need some Robitussin. And I know in some places like it was Windex. Like they're like, you just get
like if you have a cut,
of Windex,
you just throw Windex on it?
No, I think you drink it. I don't remember. But like, so the old timey wives' tale remedies are bad. So like maybe one of those things killed Big Mama. You know?
She was literally eating chemicals.
Yeah,
literally just taking chemicals. For some time, it sounds like maybe she was eating the chemicals because she has mechanical insides.
Maybe
she's got like a vibranium like torso underneath her outfit.
That'd be cool. So then when they tried to do surgery, the vibranium ruptured, and it was like, oh, you can have vibranium on top of your body, but the moment it gets into your blood, it's like in Logan, how the adamantium was slowly poisoning him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
All right.
I get it.
I like the idea of like they're doing the surgery, but during the surgery, it's like her face like starts to come apart. Mm-hmm. And like part of it is like Terminator, like you see the robot parts underneath. No, yeah. it's like in the comics, when Hank Pym sort of is Ultron, and he's got like the part Hank Pym face. It's like that, but it's Big Mama.
Yeah.
But then in the sequel, Big Mama wakes up, and now she's kind of fused to this AI consciousness that has awakened. So now it's like part Big Mama, part Ultron. And they have to stop her from crashing Sunday dinner with her army of robots. And they have to all like, Terry's got to pick up the knife again, and everybody's got to get a chair and shit. And they just fend off all of the robots that are laying siege to their house, all before like they have to boss battle Big Mama Ultron.
Oh
yeah.
That sounds. I'd watch it
totally.
But Big Mama this time is played by Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is Big Mama's house.
And you tie it into that universe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like Martin Lawrence is the like lost son of Big Mama, and then like he finally comes back like the same way that Faith did, cuz like when you're making a sequel you want to make it just familiar enough but like different.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you find out he's Hydra.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why he's in disguise.
Oh man,
Soul Food, Age of Ultron. And the poster, like the concept art, is just like Vivica Fox and Nia Long and Vanessa Williams, Mekhi Phifer, and the little boy, just with weapons and like just throwing punches at robot after robot after robot. And what they want, they're not looking for Infinity Stones. They need like the recipes. It's like the spell book.
Yeah.
They need Big Mama's recipes.
I need to know what to throw the catfish into. How do you make the cornbread from scratch?
Right, and like Ultron Big Mama will stop at absolutely nothing to get these recipes. The part of her that you knew died long ago.
I like to imagine that the way that the solution is to have Big Mama eat Nia Long's cooking. And so, like, her bad cooking is the thing that finally stops Big Mama. Ooh.
And then, like, she just, like, sputters and dies. And then all of the robots just fall down.
Yeah. And then Nia Long does that exasperated sigh and eye roll. And that's how the movie ends.
And Mekhi Phifer's dead. Like, you just see him in the background. Just, like, splayed out on the kitchen floor. He's got, like, a steel beam through it.
And someone's like, I could take you to the hospital. And he's like, I don't need no help. I don't need it. I'm a man. Don't tell my wife. And he...
Guy's there. And the steel beam's coming at him. There's a robot arm attached to it.
Yeah. That's it. That's how it works.
And then in the post-credit scene, the musician, like, he's walking to a museum, and then he sees an exhibit, and he looks at a photo, and it's him 70 years ago. And then you hear the, like, on the soundtrack as we just, like, slowly pan in to his face.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Big Mama will return.
Mm-hmm.
Question mark.
Yeah. And then it, like, fizzles away.
Big Mama had one final secret to impart to us. She knew where the Soul Stone is.
It's in the food.
It's in the TV, though. The soul food.
Yeah.
That's how we did it.
Uh-huh.
And she had to kill one of her kids to get to the Soul Stone on Vormir.
Jeez. I feel like since we are wrapping this into Thanksgiving a bit, I thought I'd do something different.
Oh.
Okay. And I would go.
I'm frightened.
You should be.
Change is scary.
It is. I was gonna say, Lex Michael, for those who also have lots and lots of family drama over food, what kind of tips could you give to survive the Thanksgiving holiday with all your crazy family members?
Man, all right. Well, we live in times that are fraught, that are hectic. A lot of strongly held views. A lot of vitriol.
Yeah.
Some vitriols in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what they say. They say you don't bring up politics or religion in polite company.
Yeah.
But you also know what they say. Everything is political. So the only way to navigate this minefield at Thanksgiving dinner with the family is for everybody to look quietly at their plates for the duration of the meal.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes home and talks about what a lovely time they had. Until the robots came. And Big Mama killed Mekhi Phifer. She can't be stopped.
That's how the narration goes. Everything was great. I loved Sunday dinner until Big Mama came. And it's just like, boom, 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 boom. I don't have diabetes. I need some butter. Gah, 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 gah.
The house is rising out of the fucking ground. And Big Mama is floating above it, just like holding her arms aloft. Being like, you are my meteor, my swift and terrible sword. I don't know, man.
Oh, man. My handy tips.
Yes, tell me.
Let's see. I mean, yes, it's always good. Avoid the hot button topics. Nod and smile. I'm all about that.
A lot of yes-anding.
Yes. Yeah.
Unless they're racist.
In which case. You gotta yes and that too. You gotta be like, so like say something racist.
No.
What? Come on, this isn't a trap.
No, I don't feel safe. Well, I don't understand what is happening or why.
Come on, Lex. This is for science.
No.
It's for science. You have to say something. And don't feel restrained. Don't just feel free to just let loose. Feel free to. I'm definitely not going to edit this into its own piece and release it on the internet under your name. I'm definitely not going to do that. If you were worried about it. Come on, good. Lex. Come on.
This is dangerous.
You're a man, aren't you?
This is a fraud scenario.
Don't tell I won't tell your wife. I won't tell you.
Don't tell her you're racist.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't tell her.
No.
No, she'd be mad.
Yeah, and she'll think you trifling. You know what I'm saying? No, but but yeah, I would say also, don't go to like you don't have to suffer through bad family if you don't like your family members. You don't have to deal with them.
Right.
Like you like one, cooking is fun. Learn how to do it.
I've seen Ratatouille. Anyone can cook.
That's true.
It's the greatest lesson Pixar has given us.
Yeah. I really enjoy. So what me and my sister do is we'll like cook something ourselves, but like we'll go to a bunch of family members' houses and like make plates,
take their food,
yeah,
beat them up, take their money,
yeah.
Bring all your robots. Big Mama just fights them up.
Well, yeah, that's how you get the food. That's how you always gotta.
You have to lay siege with robots. And like the Vivica Fox is like hopping in slow motion, just like throwing her shield at the robots.
Yeah, I like that Vivica Fox is your Captain America.
Yeah, no, because Terry's definitely Tony Stark.
Oh yeah,
except Tony Stark likes music,
right?
But she wears suits. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's the rich one. She just she pays for everything.
Yeah,
she designs everything, and she makes everyone look cooler.
Right. Yeah. That tracks.
Mekhi Phifer is probably Bruce Banner.
Oh, he's definitely Bruce Banner. Yeah. What with all the anger issues,
enormous green rage monster.
Yeah, I would say that the kid is Hawkeye.
Okay, because he's just sort of observing everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Given the quips when he can. Nia Long is probably either Black Widow or she could be Thor. Yeah.
I feel like if anything, maybe Nia Long is Peter Quill.
Oh yeah.
And that's like you had the best of intentions, but you really fucked the pooch on this.
I mean, but did Peter Quill have the best of intentions? Like, I like to think that like Thor is bumbling enough to where like, he definitely feels like someone who would ruin something. Like he would make a bad decision.
Well, I guess that's what the first Thor is about, right? Like he goes to Jotunheim and he makes a mess.
Yeah.
So Nia Long goes to Jotunheim and makes a mess.
Yeah.
She's like, I told Laufey I would go on a date with him if he gives you a job. You're gonna work at the Ice Palace on Jotunheim. And Mekhi Phifer's like, what in the fuck is that word? I didn't understand at least half of those words. And it's making me madder.
Sun is going down, big guy.
And then who is the dancing lady?
The Faith is Loki.
Okay. That tracks.
Yeah.
and Big Mama is Ultron, as we've established.
Right, yeah. We've already established that. And then, so yeah. And if
the guy who tells Mekhi Phifer he'll call him, that's Thanos.
Oh, that scene was such a bummer.
It's yeah. I do think it is actually kidding aside for a second. That might be it was the first time I noticed, but when that guy pops up when we get to that scene, I was like, is this the first white person that I've seen in this movie? A, I think that's interesting. B, I think it's doubly interesting that this dude is a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
like a condescending kind of shitty, like almost like the symbolic representation of the system that is not enabling Mekhi Phifer's character to get ahead. I thought that was interesting. It's totally possible that I just missed. Maybe there was a literal parade of white people holding hands, crossing the frame at one point, and I blinked.
And you could, like, if you listen closely, they were going, "You will not replace us," which was really weird for a movie directed by a black director and written by, like, it's just so weird. But, like, I think he had, like, I'm sure that there was an executive note that he was like, I want this to be a really big through line. And they're like, no, you got too many subplots. And he's like, all right, I'll find a way to put it in. And it just happens in the background. And then, like, torches. And then you and if you pay close enough attention, you see the guy who's the gatekeeper as part of that crowd, and then you get to the scene where he's stopping Mekhi Phifer from being hired. Yep. And then one of the counter protesters is the guy who tells Mekhi Phifer he did a great job at the factory.
Like when I now you know how like sometimes you watch an older movie that has been referenced, like maybe really pointedly in other things that you've seen.
Yeah.
And then you see that for the first time, you're like, oh, I now understand the origin of this reference.
Yeah.
So now I know that the scene at the beginning of Infinity War where Thanos beats up the Hulk is referencing the scene in Soul Food where this man will not give Mekhi Phifer his job.
Right. Exactly. And then it really, like, fucks him up. Like, you know, it like stunts him for the rest of the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's real sad, you know?
I'm glad I get the reference now. It's very good.
Well, I'm glad I could introduce it to you. You know, it's really, it's my job to keep you up on the zeitgeist, you know, get you familiar with how the internet works and all that stuff and what's going on in modern television and movies and things. You know, I feel like I'm doing a really good job. Lex Michael, do you have like remaining thoughts about this movie?
It's very 90s.
Yes, very much so.
Very 90s. Also, we held on the gentleman's butt for quite some time during the scene of intercourse.
Yeah. And
it felt very, very, very like but like 90s softcore specifically.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this sexy? Is this supposed to be? Am I supposed to be turned on by what I'm saying? Is there something wrong with me that I'm not?
Yeah. The issue is that, like, maybe you just don't have a good enough idea of sexiness, you know, or maybe you were just too jealous that your butt didn't look like his butt. You know?
I mean, I get, hey, there's a reason they were able to hold on it for so long.
Yeah.
It's like MPAA was like, you know, we really think you should kind of cut that. Like, we may have to, we thought about bumping it to an NC-17 because you hold on this dude's bare ass as long as you do. But
yeah,
we talked about it and we feel it's important that you share this.
Yeah.
We think it's something that people need to be exposed to. It needs to reach the widest possible audience.
Yeah.
We feel this might be the most important thing we ever do as a body.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine when people were watching it on the big screen. Ooh boy, they got a good shot of that wide butt. Ooh, yeah.
As a house.
That you reminded me. I've been very vocal on this show about how much I hate filmed sex scenes because they like don't follow the rules of how like sex happens and stuff. And it bothered me so much, the like position that they chose, how he was just like, I'm just gonna throw it in there, and she's like, cool, Like, I was like, this can't be pleasurable for either of you.
No.
This can't be good in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And it always bothers me because movie and TV sex is always bad sex, or most of the time.
I feel like at a certain point I stopped following.
I'm just reprising my general view that TV and movie sex is bad.
Got it.
That's it.
Like for the characters or for you?
For the characters.
Got it.
I feel like most of the time it's gross and unpassionate, and also I feel like most of the time it can't feel good for either person involved. But that's just me.
All right.
That's just me.
I mean, yeah, that's all right. I followed that time.
Yeah. Guys, what do you think about movie and TV sex? Like, how do you feel? Do you think it's pleasurable to the people involved? Not the actors, but like the characters, if they're having a good time. If you have a good example of a great scene that I should check out that you feel exemplifies two people really enjoying sex in a realistic way on a movie or television show, TV, movie, set.
Didn't HBO, didn't they just created a position, I think it's like intimacy coordinator, so that while they're shooting sex scenes like they do for many of their fine premium cable programs, they'll have somebody that's kind of monitoring everything, making sure that everybody's comfortable, like everything's safe, and yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, this is pretty recent.
Interesting.
It's a pretty recent thing.
Can I get that? Can I get? All right, HBO.
I want one for my own life.
I mean, yeah.
I just want somebody to make sure that I feel safe,
mm-hmm.
and I feel like everybody's sort of doing what they're supposed to, and
right,
and nobody's gonna be uncomfortable. I don't know, man. Like somebody just hangs out in your room.
HBO, can you hook us up? All right, Missing Out would like their own intimacy coordinator. If you can hit us up at Missing Outcast, that's MissingOutcast on Twitter. You can also hit us up on the Missing Out hotline. Just leave us a voicemail being like, here's the rate for the intimacy coordinator, here's what they require, here's all those things, and that number is 978-MISS-OUT. And just hit us up, bro. Just find a way to contact us. Get us in touch with your intimacy coordinator, and we're gonna make fun stuff happen. And I'd also just like to get them on this show so they can also tell us about how they think that most TV and movie sex scenes are bad. That's just how I feel. But I mean, maybe they'll agree, or maybe they'll school me. They'll be like, here are 100 examples of great sex scenes, and I'll be like, hell yeah!
I mean,
everyone's having a good time.
Right? Like, I bet you could like go online right now and search that and get like at least 5 to 10 listicles.
Maybe. I just don't want to get porn. That's the only thing. I want like.
No, are you like? Is it that like you have an anti-porn stance, or is it just that you don't feel that that will help your search?
I don't think it'll help my search.
You just think will it be too distracting? Like, what was I doing?
No, because I want specifically in television and movie.
Right.
So like porn doesn't help because I already know that is a fantasy. And again, I'm not anti-porn. I think everyone should enjoy porn if they like it.
Why are you so anti-porn?
Because I want it all to myself.
Right. Yeah, I'm the only one that can have this footage. You can't have it. You have to come to me if you want this footage.
Yeah, I'm the porn gatekeeper. I'll call you. Right. You want porn? I'll call you.
You legally change your name to Mr. Pornhub, and like they try to sue you, but you're now too powerful.
Yeah,
you're above the law.
What's your first name? It's Mr. It's literally Mr. And my last name is Pornhub. But you can pronounce it Pornhub. Pornhub.
I guess
all right, guys.
We have to. He's too powerful.
Where can they find you?
I am on. Where am I? I'm Twitter and Instagram. That's the one. That's the pictures one. At the Lex Michael.
Nice. And you can find me at Tari J. That's TAURIJAY. Once again, you can find this show at Missing Outcast. That's MISSINGOUTCAST. And let us know what you thought of Soul Food if you had a chance to check it out. Let us know any memories you might have with Soul Food if you have any. This is your first time watching it, then bro, let us know what your first thoughts were. Did you like that sex scene? Do you feel like there could have been a little bit more ties to the Infinity War or Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah, what do you guys think the title of Soul Food 4 will be?
Yeah, let us know. And
because if you remember at the end of the last installment, Big Mama Ultron snapped her finger, and Vanessa Williams disintegrated.
It was so sad because her last words were, "This is what I wanted." Very upsetting. Because like even if they bring her back, it's just like she doesn't want to be here.
Right.
It's a bummer.
Oh my god! And then the little kid has to kill Vivica Fox to stop them. And she's like, "It shouldn't be you, but it is. It's not fair. I'm sorry. We're out of time." And then Big Mom's like, "Fuck your sacrifice," and turns back time so she can kill Vivica Fox. She doesn't even need anything from her. She's just consumed by her robot side now.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited for us to see who lives and who dies in Soul Food 4.
Me too. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday if you celebrate. If you don't, hey, enjoy your day.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure you probably have the day off. So, like, watch some shows.
Yeah.
Listen to some tunes.
Think Creed 2 will be out.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Little Ivan Drago action. That's what's up.
Yeah, bruh. Let us know what you think about that, because I'm going to be watching it.
Uh-huh.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
I am Doctor Who.